Thank you, Abby. Let's get started. At LI-COR, we have over 40 years of experience making instrument systems and developing methods for flux measurement. Our instrumentation is cited in new research every 12 hours, and our eddy covariance instrumentation is cited in new research nearly every day. So we would like to think that we know what we're doing. And with all of this, the latest developments I'm about to describe make us think that we can do better than that. In 2014 and 15, we expanded from systems and software to fully automated next-generation flux station to output final, fully processed fluxes. Now, in 2015 and in 2016, we're introducing FluxSuite. It's a system for managing networks of multiple next-generation flux stations. Out of these two latest developments, the next-generation flux station is pretty self-explanatory, but we will still look at it later. The FluxSuite, however, is something entirely new. It's a combination of hardware, software, and web service to provide modern, fast, and simple-to-use approach to station monitoring and management. Both next-gen flux station and FluxSuite are important for a new researcher with little experience, running one or two stations, or for a very experienced group or institution running networks of stations. Let's look at key components of the entire system. One of the key components of the FluxSuite is next-generation flux station. This is automated, unattended, remotely monitored, and solar-powered station. They are similar to automated weather stations, but they output final, fully corrected fluxes of carbon dioxide, water vapor, methane, heat, and momentum, and multiple weather, soil, and radiation parameters. They provide remote access to this data and have wireless data transfer and station configurations. The core component of the next-generation flux station is SmartFlux. It's a field microcomputer for a complete on-the-go flux processing. Raw data is synchronized, compressed, and stored in two places on the station. SmartFlux runs fully configurable eddy Pro code in the same way as you would be using it on your PC or Mac. SmartFlux runs this code every half hour to compute the latest available fluxes from the last 30 minutes. It's important to note that here we talk about real flux processing and not an approximation of covariance. This process is very computer intensive and includes multiple ways of rotating coordinates, Fourier transform, spectra and cospectra computation, stationarity, footprints, and all of the required correction terms and quality controls. So with next generation stations running SmartFlux, it's now possible to connect many stations into one pretty smart flux network. This is done with a FluxSuite, a tool to remotely manage multiple stations from one place. It relies on the output from next-generation flux station and SmartFlux. User can view real-time flux data, receive alerts, and assign users to the system. This way you can manage the network of multiple stations with minimum number of people and minimal expenses. You can also create actual and virtual networks of flux stations for users outside your group. FluxSuite is not a concept, but it's a real working tool for flux network management. Two large networks with nearly 50 combined flux stations already operate in China. One of them, CERN. It's a evapotranspiration network by Chinese Academy of Sciences. And another one is evapotranspiration network by Chinese Agricultural Academy of Sciences. There are also other smaller networks established across the globe. So how does this whole thing work? Each single next-generation flux station measures all parameters it needs. And when you set up the station, it will ask you for everything it needs. Field microcomputer, SmartFlux, calculates eddy fluxes every hour. Then it computes other important products and quality controls. Fluxes are computed on-site at the specific station and in real time. Then FluxSuite links to a single station or connects together multiple stations into one network or into few subnetworks. There is many various choices you can make. Flux scientists can use a web browser on their phone, tablet, desktop to see all towers, fluxes, weather data, alerts, and other site details. Flux Network Manager can also allow or restrict access to one or more stations, or allow or restrict system modifications and station configuration. Specific users can be assigned specific rights. So what is the big deal with all of this? The big deal is that sophisticated and data-intensive research-grade methodology is turned into automated and practical Flux results. For a single researcher, FluxSuite provides automation of Flux station and on-the-go calculations. It reduces the time needed to run the station and to process the fluxes, and it increases the time needed for data analysis and publications. For a project manager, FluxSuite provides a way to run multiple stations with least number of people and with minimal expense. This way, more stations can be run on the same budget. Let's now look at how FluxSuite actually operates. When researcher went to see their station, they simply come into a secured web page with their private FluxSuite network. First, they see a station snapshot with fluxes and other parameters for the last couple of days, and any alerts or warnings about the station. One can see all the data or just quality control data by ticking quality control button. Last data point on these plots is the last half hour in real time. It's a real final flux from a station located next to the office or located on a different continent. Then one can see fluxes for past weeks, months or longer, and all of these steps are instant, with no training required. If you have many stations, you can first open the map with all stations and choose the one you're interested in. The green dot on this map means the station is okay. If something is wrong with the station, the dot will turn red. In the same way like you use the map, if you have very, very many stations, you can also use a list and sort them by name, location, or ecosystem. Detailed description for each station is also available, including location, instrumentation, station log, picture of the station. And again, here as everywhere, the green indicator means the station is okay, and the red would mean something needs your attention. Not much to add here. Using FluxSuite is that simple. Let's now look at the screenshots of actual live data. Here's the FluxSuite dashboard. This is something you can see on your phone, tablet, PC, or Mac, or any other device with internet browser. Everything in green means all the key components of your station operate normally. One of these circular buttons turns red. You can click on it and see what is the problem with that specific station. Here's the same screen, but data are now quality controlled. By ticking the quality control button indicated with the red here, you can enable controlling the data using multiple criteria, including turbulence conditions, stationarity, and other important quality control parameters. We can also click and go into detailed view. One can see many weeks of fluxes or any other station parameters here. On this figure, for example, you can easily see seasonal increase in carbon uptake from early May to early June in this California grassland. Here is the same data quality controlled. This feature is really helpful when deciding if the flux data makes sense. So, how does FluxSuite know if it should email you? And who should receive such emails or see such data? FluxSuite will rely on a system of alerts. Some are built in, but many can be defined by researchers themselves. Alerts may be customized depending on the site. For example, forest site may not exceed natural CO2 concentration of about maybe 800, 900, but urban site may easily exceed this threshold. So you can customize when you think your station is not operating within acceptable ranges. In addition to alert system, another important part of the site management is user access. PI or site manager can define who has access to each site and to the data, and what kind of access and rights they should have. As everything else with FluxSuite, we try to make this process very simple. It is done from inside the browser on the phone, tablet, or other device. FluxSuite has one more pretty interesting feature, and this one should be explained. It is an ability to cross-share the stations. For example, two people with two stations each can give FluxSuite access to each other, making each person to effectively have 4 stations. Person with no station at all can ask different groups for the access to mangrove stations in Mexico, New Caledonia, and Malaysia, for example. Now, this person effectively has a virtual network of mangrove stations without having any stations of their own. This is a very exciting opportunity to collaborate across the globe on specific projects, publications of Flux networks. So, in summary, FluxSuite system helps manage one or more automated Flux stations. It provides easy access to real-time, fully processed fluxes. It alerts researcher if something needs attention using customizable alert system. It has a built-in and tiered user access and multiple other features. It provides opportunities for sharing the stations across the globe. And last but not least, FluxSuite helps to save substantial resources when running a single Flux station or a large Flux network. For more information, please go to FluxSuite.com. There you can learn about different aspects of FluxSuite, including integrating FluxSuite into your site, getting software updates, requesting a demo version of FluxSuite, getting subscription information, and ask any questions about FluxSuite. Or you can also email us. This is all time we have. Thank you for listening. Oh, and here's the picture of the cake we ate after the FluxSuite was completed. A lot of people worked on this project for several years, and we're very happy and proud of it.
Thank you, George. Looks like we have a few questions from the audience. The first one is, how can I purchase FluxSuite?
There are several options how you can get subscription to FluxSuite. You can subscribe to 1, 2, or 3 year services for one tower or for multiple towers and with different number of seats. So it's best to contact us and discuss the specific choice.
Great. Another question we received is, can I try FluxSuite before I purchase a subscription?
Yes. If you already have Smart Flux unit, you can start free trial today by visiting FluxSuite.com. If you have 7500A or 7200 models of gas analyzers, you can purchase the Smart Flux unit to provide fully processed fluxes and sign up for a free 60-day trial of FluxSuite.
Great. Thanks, George. That's all the time we have today for live questions, but if you have additional questions, please type them in and our panelists will be sure to answer them before we end the webinar. On behalf of LI-COR, thank you everyone for attending.